If you've only got one life, well, you better make it count. That's what I told myself as I booted up Fallout New Vegas to play. Not a challenge per se, but a thought experiment. What would happen if Elphaba Throp, and yes, that is her full name, thank you to the Wicked Wiki, was dropped into the Mojave Wasteland and had just one life to make the most of herself? I think it'd go a little something like this. We wake up in Doc Mitchell's house, amazingly alive after being shot in the head and ready to set our special stats. We go for the following build. 10 strength, because we are a strong, independent woman who don't need no wizard. 8 perception, because we wear glasses and obviously that makes you see good. 1 endurance, because, well... I'm mouthy! 1 charisma, because being a social outcast is the whole point of her character arc. 9 intelligence, because we're one smart cookie and the excess points had to go somewhere. 10 agility, because while we can't fly in New Vegas, we sure are going to get as many zoomies as we can. And finally, 1 luck, because again... Oh, what a world! With no real goals or allegiances, after being asked some frankly intrusive questions, we leave the clinic to begin our new life as the Lone Wanderer. After speaking to Victor, who we regard as a friend because he too is a bit of a social outcast, we briefly head towards the Saloon of Good Springs. That is before remembering these people are basically the munchkins of this world, so they can jolly well fend for themselves. With that decision made, we instead start to head towards the NCR Correctional Facility, because when Elphaba hears people's liberation, she is all in. Or she would be all in, but she doesn't have 100 caps, so she's realistically getting in nowhere. I can appreciate that a revolution requires capital, but not my capital. I'm more of a doer than a funder. But regardless, we leave. Which is fine, we're still flying free, so we'll head to Prim to see what we can see. And that rhyme is about as close to singing as you're gonna get out of me. After basically being told we aren't strong enough for Prim, which I fully disagree with by the way, because we're magic, we attempt to cross the overpass into town. We gracefully defuse the first landmine before getting blown up by the second. No worries, healing is only a floor mattress away, and after an hour-long nap, we're back to defying that NCR soldier and gravity. Then we get even more damaged by the third landmine, which means only one thing: it's time for another nap. Having both covertly and safely entered Prim, we begin to work our way around the back of the town towards the hotel, where a bunch of aggressive on-site convicts are hiding out. Elphaba doesn't have any gripe with these particular outlaws, but frankly, if we're going to get anywhere, we need to start gaining XP. And with no social options that really speak to us, with trusty machete in hand, we take out our first 2 convicts, before struggling to jump onto the collapsed roller coaster track to eventually dispatch a third. With a newfound sense of confidence, we cross the opposite track to take out a 4th convict before entering the hotel from the 2nd floor. Once inside, we manage to not only clear the floor of enemies, but also find a lovely pre-war dress. I initially put it on because Glinda would have wanted it this way, but it turns out the dress was green, which is a big bonus because, I don't know if you've noticed, but the skin tones in New Vegas are rather early 2000s, so we need some more green beyond our hair to really sell the ensemble. Venturing forth with machete in hand and drip on body, we enter the lobby floor of the hotel and get shot down almost immediately. So what happened here? Well, you could argue I was being too brazen. I could argue I'm not very good at the game and haven't played in several years, and that melee is a harder approach early on. But perhaps the truth lies somewhere in between, and in that truth lies our lesson for the day. It's not about living a good life, or a long life, or even a memorable life. It's about living the life you choose for yourself, and also learning that if you're going to join up with the Powder Gangers for their quest line, you need some starting capital. Have a good day, have a good life, and thanks for watching.